Hello guys, how are we doing? So, Riot have added some very interesting changes to the PvE, which changes a bunch of items in the game. There's a lot of reworks, a lot of big changes to the mythics, and today I'm going to be talking about them. I am specifically going to touch on the lethality item changes because, this channel is centered around Kha'Zix, so I'll leave the other ADC items and all that to someone else more capable. Alright, let's get into it. So, here are the items currently getting changed. We have a total of 4 lethality items getting changed, being Duskblade, Prowler's Claw, Youmuu's Ghostblade, and I gotta include this one, the Collector. So, let's start off with our new mythic item. Youmuu's Ghostblade is now becoming a mythic item. Yay! So, what's different about this one? Well, it's actually pretty much the same thing as good old legendary Youmuu's. However, since it's now a mythic item, you're going to be getting a +8 attack damage bonus through its mythic passive with each legendary item purchase, which is pretty damn good actually. But here's the main effect. So, when you move, you gain spectral stacks, and when you reach 100 stacks, you're going to get an increase of 10 to 20 lethality based on level. And this will last until 4 seconds after you damage an enemy champion, after which you will have to stack up the item again. So, in a way, it's kind of like Dead Man's Play. Now, the Youmuuu still retains its old active and its old out of combat move speed, and when you use the active, you're going to accumulate stacks 2 times faster. So what do we think, guys? Is this a good change? Did Riot do good on this one? Well, me personally, I think this item is going to be absolutely disgusting. Having access to a mythic item that gives you a total of 28 lethality in the early game from your first item, while being able to move around the map crazy fast as well, just sounds absolutely amazing. Now keep in mind that at level 18, you're going to be getting 38 lethality from this item alone. Now that is just insane. That is pretty wild, man. I mean, Youmuu's rush on assassins previously was already really solid, and could even compete with the mythic item rushes on champs like Kha'Zix and Talon, etc. So the fact that it's becoming even more powerful is just crazy. Now, of course, since it is a mythic, this does mean that you're not going to be able to run Duskblade with it anymore, which does suck, but Duskblade has been changed pretty significantly, so we'll get to that in a second. You also won't be able to run Eclipse with it, but Eclipse has been unchanged for the most part. Overall, this item is looking pretty damn juicy, and I think, in my opinion, it's going to hands down be the best item in the game, particularly for assassin junglers since they do be roaming a lot, but I think laning assassins will still benefit from this item like crazy as well. Alright, the next item, I have a lot to say about this one. Let's talk about our other mythic, Duskblade. So, Duskblade is still a mythic item, which means you won't be able to pair it with the new Youmuu's, and this is a pretty interesting one. So, Riot have removed the invisibility passive, much to my disliking, and they've also removed the damage proc and slowing effect on your auto attack. It now has a new effect where your abilities deal 15% bonus damage based on the target's missing health. Now, if a champ that you've damaged within 3 seconds dies, instead of getting invis, you're going to be getting an untargetable effect from non-structures for 1.5 seconds. And this has a 10-second cooldown, so the Duskblade Reset City is officially no more. So, what do we think about this one? In my subjective opinion, as someone who loves the Invisibility Duskblade, one of my favorite items of all time, I don't like this change. I kind of hate this change with a passion, but that's just because for me personally, the Invis mechanic was the most fun that I've ever had with Kha'Zix and with League in general. I really feel like they've taken the fun out of this item, but I'm sure this version will have its good moments as well. Now, my opinion aside, it's very clear that they felt the Duskblade Invis was just too damaging for low elo, and they have pretty much removed that in favor of the untargetability, which definitely has its merits, and I think it's going to be a lot more consistent. It will allow you to get in and out of fights provided you get a kill safely, but it also means that your multi-kill potential is down a little bit since there's no invisibility reset on the Duskblade. Now, with the bonus damage on this new Dusk, its value is going to come from securing kills on targets that have fallen low, in which you can proc the untargetability and get out safely or go for another kill, But keep in mind, the untargetable passive does not reset on kill, so you have one chance to use it wisely. In my opinion, I think overall the change is better for Duskblade, so long as the 15% missing health damage bonus is noticeable enough to be good at cleaning up targets. Also, think about the synergy it's going to have with Dark Harvest. Good lord, that's going to be really nice to try out. I feel like the usage of this item is going to be a lot more widespread. We almost never saw Duskblade being used in the higher elos because it was extremely difficult to make use of the reset passive, since there's less of a clown fiesta, and team comps are also less squishy, and teams are just straight up more coordinated. So I think having a missing health bonus is going to help some assassins get those picks so that it can create opportunities in fights. I still personally really dislike this change just because I feel like they've sucked the fun out of the game with this item. But I'm very curious to see how this new Duskblade performs, so we'll have to wait and see. However, I think Youmuu's is still going to be the best item in the game for assassins in terms of mythics. Alright, so the next one is pretty interesting as well. We have Prowler's Claw. Now, this item is no longer a mythic item, it's a legendary item now. Wow, crazy! Here's what they've changed. So, the active dash on Prowlers is completely gone, and the mythic passive is also gone. Since it's now a legendary item, its AD and haste are lowered by 5, and it's also lost 3 lethality. It now has a new passive in which after dashing, blinking, or exiting stealth, your next attack on a champ deals a bonus 85 plus 35% bonus AD physical damage with a cooldown of 5 seconds. If you're a melee champ, you slow the target by 99% for 0.5 seconds. So, basically, this new Prowler's Claw has kind of taken the damage proc from Duskblade and is now existing as a legendary item. This item's role is really just to give you more damage. There's not really anything else to say about it. In my opinion, it's kind of a boring change, but seeing as how the mythics have been reworked, I think it's necessary for this item to exist as a good damage option. Man, the Prowler's Dash though. Although it wreaked havoc on a lot of champs, it was just fun to use, man. It was just fun. It's such an awesome ability, kind of like Gale Force. Inherently fun to use, and now that it's gone, we're kind of just left with this shell of an item. You know, like, look how they massacred my boy. Reduced to a mere legendary item that has a damage proc. Nice. I don't know, guys. I really can't say much about this item. It's just kind of there. It's just damage all around. If you want more damage after your mythic, run it. Great. It's going to be a staple in many builds. But that's pretty much all you need to know about it. It's pretty sad to see how this item has been downgraded, but oh well. At least we won't be getting one-shot from across the map by Qiyanas and Renekton's, right? No more Bruisers abusing it, no more Prowler's Scion, at least we have that. Okay, now there's one more I want to talk about. The Collector. I know. It's getting another 6 lethality, which brings it up to 18 lethality. Yeah, man. Not bad. It'll let you deal some more damage, so feel free to use it if you're going crit or something. I don't know, man. It's still garbage. Fuck off. Why do they buff this thing? Let it rot. Go away. But yeah, nothing much to say here. It's just the damage buff. But this item is not really for assassins, more so for AD carries, but we might see some use for it in crit builds or something like that, given the lethality buff. I still stand by my words. The Collector is garbage. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are all the lethality changes coming with the mid-season update. So overall, what do I think about these changes? Well, I think overall, these changes, and of course there are other changes for other classes, are going to make the game healthier. I think overall these changes are for the better. For the general player base, getting rid of these core mechanics on Duskblade and Prowlers means that they don't have to deal with perma-invis assassins and getting one shot from 200 meters away. As an assassin player though, and as someone who's enjoyed these items for the past couple of seasons, I can't really say I'm excited about these changes. Sure, the new Youmuu's is nice, but it's still pretty much the exact same thing. We've pretty much just had the fun sucked out of the two most mechanically interesting items in the game. As it stands with these changes, we won't be able to make cool flashy plays with the Duskblade Invis, or make cool dash assassinations with the Prowler's Claw, and instead our enjoyment from the game will mostly stem from the abilities of our champion and how much damage we can do to the enemy. That's pretty much why I'm not looking forward to these. They were just such fun mechanics that are now gone and probably never coming back, so make the most of them while you can. I suppose change is inevitable and things have to come and go in order to balance the game, but my problem here is just that we're not really getting anything new here. We're only losing ways to play the game in my opinion, but yeah, that's just what I think. Thank you guys for watching. If you managed to get to this point, I appreciate you, and we'll have to see how these changes affect Kha'Zix and other assassins. I am curious, albeit not that excited, but you know what Kha'Zix says, change is good, and maybe it is. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I make Kha'Zix videos and they're insane. You won't be disappointed. Also like the video if you enjoyed what I had to say, and you can catch me live on Twitch. The link is in the description. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Catch you guys later.